Hello. Welcome back to another Shoe Snob blog unboxing video series, One Take Wonders. Here we are. Before I get into it, I watch other podcasters and other creators and other YouTubers, and they always are saying the same kind of intro, and maybe it works, but if you're new here and you enjoy what you see, please hit the like and subscribe. I'd love to grow this channel to start reaching more people than I do, reaching the amount of people that I do on my other channels, because I put a lot of effort into the YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel at the end of the day helps to grow the shoe industry by presenting new artists that you won't easily see elsewhere. So please hit the like, please hit the subscribe. If you are an existing subscriber and Shoe Snob blog follower and you love what I do, feel free to also check out my new Patreon page and become a patron if you feel so inclined. All the support I can get is always appreciated, and no obligation, but if you do feel moved, please check that out. All the links are below, and let's get into it. So, something new today, something different. So, what I'm going to show you here is a bespoke pair of boots from a Japanese Bespoke Shoemaker. Now, they are not mine, but from a follower of the channel, of my Instagram, of my YouTube, contacted me saying that they just received a pair of their bespoke boots and wanted to shed some light on the shoemaker and offered me to do an unboxing. I think that's great. Again, people send me stuff. Most of the times it's brands that want their product discussed, which is fine, but in the past, people have also given me their shoes. One guy, back when I had the shop in New York, dropped off his Tremezza Ferragamo exotic shoes made by Paolo Scafora. You can see the video. It's here. And I'm not opposed to that either, because, again, I do this for all of you. I don't do this to gain shoes. I don't need shoes. I just do this to shed light on cool shoemakers and show new ideas, new products, new something to keep this industry alive and people interested. So what we have here is Tetsuya Shirakashi. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. And let's take a look at these beautiful creations. So to be extra careful, because this is not mine, but beautiful box, very solid. You wouldn't expect anything less from a Japanese Bespoke Shoemaker who are all about the details. Well, it's a very interesting shaped bag, but of course it makes sense. It's in the shape of a foot, shoe, boot, whatever you want to call it. So nice, beautiful flannel, high quality flannel. So it looks like one of my suits. Got the little logo of a shoemaker there, stitching the sole. And now his name is Tetsuya Shirakashi, but on Instagram it's T.Shirakashi Bootmaker. So definitely check that out. All the links will be below, of course. These, of course, will have been repackaged, so we cannot judge the presentation because this shoe was obviously sent to the client, and then the client resent it to me, and I presume he took them off, tried them, etc. Well, let's see if he actually tried them. I presume he slipped them on, but so you can see how the bag fits perfectly the boot, and it has a nice little shaft curve. Very smart. I've never seen that before. It's pretty nifty. All right, so being extra gentle, well, this one you can see was left intact. So he took out the right, he took a look at it, he must have tried it, and oh wow, so yeah, you can see again the detail of the Japanese is just second to none. I mean, look, they don't want to cause markings, so they put paper there to protect the laces and the leather. Again, the amount of details they do to just make sure that everything remains impeccable is impressive. So, all right, let's put all this away. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about this shoemaker, but I will briefly explain what I've been told. Again, his name is Tetsuya Shirakashi, and apparently he was Yohei Fukuda's first apprentice. Now, this just goes to show how long Yohei Fukuda's been in the game, because this guy's been practicing shoemaking for 16 years. So now you understand Yohei's been doing it even longer. It's funny because he looks so young. But anyway, I love that. I love that Yohei took this guy in. He learned the craft. He built his own brand. I presume it's all love between them, and it's great. And so, you know, he's a smaller, less known shoemaker in Japan. Well, I presume less known just because, you know, it's not widely talked about on the blogs. Maybe in Japan it's different. Again, huge different cultural thing there, so you don't, unless you read Japanese, you probably won't be able to see what's being discussed there as much. But as far as in the Western world, you don't see a lot on the shoemaker. Now, I'm not going to say that I didn't know of the shoemaker prior to this blog reader writing me, but as I did follow them and saw what they did, and I actually saw this boot and thought, wow, that's cool. Because as you can see here, it's a very unique design, a beautiful design. So the client is based here in the US and came across Tetsuya on a trip to Japan in 2022 and decided to try him out. Now, he gave me some details on the price. I'll share them with you, but don't hold those prices to anything, because the world has changed drastically since 2022 and prices went up about 20% across the board. So I think he said he paid $3,800 for these back in 2022. Now, assuming just a 20% rise, because that's pretty much what leather, electricity, and everything else rose in that time period, you know, that you're looking at another $800, let's just call $800. So it's probably going to be closer to, you know, upper $4,000s, $5,000 now. But phenomenal piece. So the client took some inspiration. He was able to design his own design. So he created this design and also named it the O'Keefe, from an American artist named, I want to say George O'Keefe. I could be forgetting completely the first name. I don't know this artist, but he told me he named it after an American artist and the last name, surname, was O'Keefe. Anyway, he took inspiration from a Gatsianon Girlin and a TYE boot. Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that. I'm watching my 5-year-old today, and they don't really understand the concept of do not disturb. So I had to go attend quickly. As I was saying, the client had free reign on the design and designed something that was a blend between a TYE Bespoke Shoemaker and a Gatsianon Girlin boot. So blending the two ideas, he created the O'Keefe, which is this beautiful apron, derby, Balmoral, something rather. There's no description for what this is. Looks like a derby, but it's really an Oxford. This is great design right here. This is the kind of design I live for and love. This is something I wish I did. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I've done things similar, but this is cool, you know? This is blending multiple design elements and styles to create one, and doing so in a manner that remains subtle but is uniquely different. But it doesn't scream overdone or overthought or out of the ordinary. You know, the problem with design is when you try to reinvent the wheel, if you reinvent it too much, it just becomes ridiculous at a certain point. But this is immaculately done. Hats off to not only the client who created this, but the shoemaker for executing it flawlessly. So, all right, now we've dissected the design, amazing stuff. Let's just look. I mean, you know, the problem we're not going to find any flaws. These are bespoke footwear by a Japanese shoemaker. You know, they live, eat, and breathe their work and the strive of perfection. They're not going to send to the client unless it's perfect. So, you know, we can just assume that the shoe is perfect because there's nothing to find. There's a cool little stitching here in yellow, and I'm not gonna lie, I already forget what that is. The client told me. But it's a nice little, you know, engraved detail, and it's actually only on one boot. You know, I don't see it on this side. Anyways, the making is flawless. The boot is super cool. I think it's great. You know, it's good to see that people are seeking out, you know, I don't want to say newer because the guy's been around for 16 years, but lesser known shoemakers, giving them a chance, trying them out. And not just going straight for the popular, the famous names. You know, I do appreciate and respect that. I don't want to dissect the boot in the sense I don't want to take out the shoe tree and ruin its form because, you know, lasted boot trees can be a pain. But all the details are there. Beautiful stuff. Nice boot trees. Got his logo here. Now, the client did tell me he's the only client of this shoemaker in the US. I presume that's because I don't believe this shoemaker travels to the US. So this guy was able to acquire these because he visited Japan and did the initial fittings there, where the shoemaker took all the measurements necessary and all the details necessary to be able to create that first trial. And yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm still just kind of appreciating the design and all the subtle details here. But anyway, I think it's a super cool boot. What I love, obviously, if you know me, I'm a sucker for making two-tones, but I really hope somebody sees this video, commissions this boot, and does some kind of two-tone action here, because this is a flawless design for multiple colors and materials, because you have 3 main sections. So these two could be the same and this could be different, doing 3 different colors. Now that's a bold move. I don't recommend that for the average person. It takes some real skill complementing 3 colors. But the three main pieces make a perfect scenario for a very cool two-tone. And I can see some leather here with some suede here. The problem is you wouldn't put a suede on the heel cap, so, you know, maybe these are all the same, and then the kind of vamp to the facing is in suede or a different material. Either way, or even like a tweed, a flannel, something like that. That'd be cool. That'd be a little bit difficult with the apron, but nonetheless, it's amazing design, flawless execution. Of course, what else would you expect from a bespoke shoemaker? Beautiful details. I think it's great that the client was kind enough to send me this so I could show it to all of you. If you are somebody that does seek out bespoke shoemakers, definitely check out T.Shirakashi or Tetsuya Shirakashi. And you know, if you happen to find yourself in Japan, give it a shot, because what I think about bespoke, you know, for bespoke there are like 2 clients. There's the client who really needs bespoke because they have messed up feet, and there's the client who can afford bespoke and does it because of stuff like this. You know, this guy was able to create his own design. Now you can't do that at a factory. You know, certain shoe brands that have, you know, very loose made to order programs and allow you to change details, you might be able to, but creating a unique pattern like that is usually only able to be done through bespoke shoemaking. That's why you pay a lot. You pay more for the ability to have free reign, for the ability to get perfect fit, whether you need it or not, but to get exactly what you have in your mind, and then get the shoe fully handmade by a skilled artisan. So again, if you are the latter category and you want to create cool, unique designs that you have in your head and you haven't seen anywhere else, and maybe another shoemaker won't allow you, well, boom, here's a shoemaker that will. And for what he paid for this, it doesn't really seem like he did much of a markup on the fact that the guy had to create a unique pattern and maybe had to test that, because, you know, just because you create it doesn't mean it's perfect the first time you execute it. So, you know, a lot of people don't think about those types of things, but there's costs, you know, to sit down and make the pattern on this last takes time, takes a lot of time. People think bespoke shoes are so expensive, but in reality, the shoemakers aren't making that much money because of how much man hours are being put into that. So, you know, much respect to the shoemaker, much respect to the client that created this brilliant design, and yeah, check them out. And as always, thank you for tuning in and for supporting the channel. Wishing you all a great day. Take care. Bye.